There are only three key elements that you need to pay attention to in order to be able to make your med school application stand out. Now I'm talking about only three instead of 5, 10, 20, 25. And this may sound counterintuitive, but in this case, just like many other aspects of life, it makes more sense to pay attention to just a few things that you know are going to have a huge impact rather than focusing on a million other things all simultaneously at once, where it would be almost virtually impossible to reach that level of perfection that you require in order to make your application stand out. So what are those three things that you need to definitely focus on? I'm going to tell you what those are in just a minute. But first, I'd like to introduce myself in case you haven't been watching any of our videos. My name is Dr. Behrouz Momeni. I'm the CEO and founder here at BeMo, or BeMo Academic Consulting, where we help students with admissions to highly competitive graduate and professional programs. Specifically, we help a lot of students every year getting into medical schools, as you may be aware. Now, students normally seek our help because they want to make sure they make their application stand out the first time so they don't have to go through the process again, or perhaps they have been rejected in the past and they want to make sure they don't make the same mistakes again. Now, what are those three key elements that I mentioned to you earlier? So here they are. First and foremost, you must start early. The reason for that is normally an outstanding application and a written application document specifically require a lot of time and attention, lots of revisions, lots of brainstorming. You got to keep throwing ideas, then scrap those ideas, start over and review and rewrite multiple times before they get to a level where they're in a sort of a position that would allow you to grab the attention of the admissions committees. The other reason is, of course, rolling admissions. Because of rolling admissions, you want to be one of the first people who send in your application documents. The next thing that's also very important is you want to get the written application documents out of the way as soon as possible, because this is going to allow you to have sufficient amount of time to start preparing for CASPER and interviews well in advance. And that again is going to give you yet another advantage. So the advantage you get by starting early is actually going to give you another advantage later on during the admission cycle as well, multiple advantages actually. So that was one. The second key element is you have to be strategic, and you have to be strategic about everything. So remember, I told you it's important to focus on just a few different things, and again I've broken it down for you in this video, but you could do this for every aspect of your application. For example, when you're applying, be strategic about what schools you're going to apply to. Only apply to schools where you have a realistic chance of getting in, rather than applying to 10, 20, 30 different schools where you don't have a chance to don't have a realistic chance of getting in. The other reason for that is normally when you apply, you send in your primary application, the school sends you the secondary application documents and its essays, so you don't want to deal with a lot of essays. Again, it will reduce your focus. The more you have to do, the less likely you're going to do well. And this also goes for when you're choosing what type of activities to include inside your application, whether it's your personal statement or your work activity section. Again, be strategic. You don't necessarily have to put in everything. In fact, you shouldn't, but only the ones that make sense and are going to help your application. And more importantly, they should show lots of commitment and progression over time, and they have to be significant to the field of medicine and of course the qualities medical schools are looking for. Lastly, you have to also be strategic about the individuals you ask to write you a letter of recommendation. That's also very key. There's so many different people you could ask, but you have to be very strategic about that. Now, the third piece of advice I have, or the key element in this video, I kind of lost my words there, that I want to share with you is that you need to make sure that you have someone review your documents. And this is absolutely critical. Think about it. All great writers in the world, if you go grab a book from a famous writer, or anyone, you go to your bookshelf right now, you'll go to the first page or second page, usually you'll see that there is a name of an editor in there. Everyone has an editor, so you need an editor as well, especially for such an important document. And the point of an editor is not to write it for you, but it has to be someone who's got an expert eye. Usually this has to be either someone who is a practicing medical doctor who has been on admissions committee has the eye, or perhaps someone who's been trained for this purpose, or someone who's got a PhD again who's been trained for this. And it shouldn't be your friends and family, because they're not going to be objective with you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. So it has to be someone who is totally independent. And what they will do, if it's an excellent expert, they're not going to write it for you. That's beyond the fact that it's totally unethical. But what they will do is that if they're really good, they will actually teach you how to be able to write these type of documents, because this is a skill set that you're going to require for the rest of your life. So an excellent sort of an expert or admission expert has the eye to teach you how to do this instead of doing it for you, because once you understand this process, in fact, you could write application documents that are truly outstanding, and they are also unique because they're going to be based on your own unique experiences. So those would be the 3 key elements. Now, I have a proposition for you. If you would like us to help you make your med school application stand out, there should be a link here either below this video or somewhere around this video where you could click, learn about our medical school application review programs. And we have multiple programs that you could choose from. I think we have 3. You choose the best that makes sense for you. As you scroll down the page, you'll see the programs, the details. Scroll down the page, and then you'll see how you could enroll. I can briefly tell you how the programs work. Normally, depending on the program you have, we start with a strategic brainstorming session, especially if you have the writer's block and you're not sure what to write about. We'll help you out. We'll make sure that you have an idea and a framework. Then you start working on your application documents. Then you send them back to us. This could be personal statements, secondary essays, work activity section, or our biographical sketch, whatever it is. Again, any type of written document, we could do this with you. Then you write your first draft, you send it to us, we'll send it to our admission experts. They'll do a comprehensive review, and not only they do the grammar and spelling, which is important, but we focus on some other more important stuff, such as structure, flow, whether or not you have included your unique experiences, whether or not this is admissions friendly, whether or not you have fantastic introduction and conclusion, and more importantly, if there are any red flags, we're going to let you know. And this process continues for as long as necessary until our admission experts are 100% confident that you're ready to submit your document. Furthermore, we also can help you with the selection of the schools you're applying to. Of course, we could later on, once you've submitted your written application documents, help you with CASPER preparation and interview preparation. So again, there's more information somewhere on this around this video. Click that link. It's most likely below the video. Click the link, go on the page, read about it, and I suggest that you enroll as soon as possible, because not only that you need to start prepping already. Some of our students have already started writing their application documents and are getting close to completion. That's important. But second important thing that I have to tell you is that because we have a limited number of consultants, of course we have a limited number of spots available for students, and as soon as we reach full capacity, we won't take on any new students, because I want to make sure that we maintain the quality of our services. So if you're serious, go ahead and click the link below and enroll today, and we'll talk to you soon. Of course, if you have any further questions, you could also click the contact us page, fill out the simple form we have with as much detail as you can. Then we'll set you up for a free initial consultation to get you going and answer any questions you may have, and start with a personalized course of action in case you're unsure. That was it for me. I hope at the very least, whether or not you seek our help or not, either way, I hope that the video was helpful. I also hope that you do really well, so you never have to go through that application process ever again. If you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you, please go ahead and share it with a friend, and I hope to talk to you soon.